You've been thinking about what you say you want to do for years. You've been making plans, preparations, imaginary pictures in your head that you uphold and live by, and on your worst days retreat to a seclusion and just sit with the pictures of what could be the reality that you don't have and never have had, because you refuse to drop the strongholds that you hold. You refuse to take your attention off of the negative influences. You refuse to disconnect from the vampires, those who are sucking and draining the energy from you. You refuse to align yourself with truth. You allow for the distractions of this world, the things of this earth, to come and snatch away your life source and your power. And then you blame other people for it. You say that somebody else did something to you. You say that people are messed up. You say that the world is a terrible place. You say that you got all kind of silly cliches, all kind of excuses, and all kind of expressions of the blame game that we refuse to let go. We really genuinely believe that somebody is doing something to us when we sit and set our attention on all of the negative around us that flows from the negative within us that we have harbored, not knowing that we have become toxic from the poisons that we have allowed to inhabit the inside of us and plague our paradigms. And we just ignore the wickedness on the inside and judge those who exhibit and express and reflect the wickedness that we carry on the inside. You can only identify what you're familiar with. You're only familiar with what you've experienced in the past. So when you identify somebody else as having missed the mark, understand that that's a mark that you've missed in a way that you've missed it. You've identified it, and you're judging somebody for what you yourself have done and clearly will do again, based on the fact that all judgments return to the sender. So the fact that you've judged them for what they've done, after recognizing it as something that you had a past with, it's definitely popping back up in your picture because you have set your attention on it, and you have pointed at another who is but your reflection, who came to expose to you the fallacies within your paradigm and your belief system, and you have set yourself up as a judge, above, superior, sending a conviction downward. And that's not your job. That's not your place. People are not beneath you. People are beside you. The last has become first. The first shall become last. All will walk in, not in a single file line based on merit and based on performance, but all will enter in simultaneously, not in the physical. Have you took a moment to assess what it is that you want from the universe and from the source? Have you taken a moment to analyze how you still operate on the childish lines of wanting something for nothing? Hey, and understand you've arrived in the perfect kingdom for such, because you here in the kingdom of God have been given all for nothing. But if you don't know that you've been given all for nothing, you will spend your entire existence in the physical following what you identify as good resources that are trying to help you navigate back to a God that you would tell other people would never leave or forsake you. And if your God would never leave nor forsake you, then what is it that you are seeking, and who is it that you are seeking, and where is it that you are seeking? How did you let somebody convince you that God would never leave nor forsake you? If you made your bed in Hades, there he would be with you. And then turn around and allow the same group of people to convince you that there was a path, a process, a way other than full submission to the one on the inside of all, who gives freely to all that is ever given. So let's look at an excerpt real quick. Subconscious processing is multifaceted. It contains the sensory data we've grown to rely on: sight, sound, smell, bodily functions, breathing, heart rate, and even complicated mental programs such as pattern recognition, emotional responses, and decision making. Our brain filters this overwhelming influx of information and feeds only a small portion of it to our consciousness. The primary function of the evolving human brain is to ensure the survival and enable complex interaction with the environment. Your brain was not designed to lead you, as it relies on illusionary passing pictures, patterns, and other unreliable analytical methods to draw conclusions. You have an internal guidance system that needs nothing but your undivided attention to awaken and restore your rightful outlook. But our outlook is not altered without a deep and honest inward assessment. Ain't nothing gonna change until you get real. Nothing's gonna change until you stop lying to yourself. Nothing's gonna change until you stop pretending, until you stop justifying yourself by these excuses that you allow to derive from the center of the illusionary control base, your ego. You defend yourself from people who aren't attacking you. We say the truth hurts, but we also say that hurt people hurt people. So if it hurts to hear the truth, if you've been in a state of mind that it hurts you to hear what is truth, what is reality, what is factual, and you become hurt over your interpretation of what someone is trying to convey to you in a moment of factual exchange, and you adopt the idea that this person has hurt you, you begin to attempt to hurt this person back. You've been at war not only with other people. The war with other people comes from your war with truth, and your war with truth has put you at odds with yourself.